Hello, welcome everyone to the 2021 SSBB Season 2, Round 2. It is going to be an absolutely amazing, epic, ridiculous event. We have 3 categories. We have 15 drivers. And 2 categories are sprint races, 1 category is an endurance race, and we are about to go to the qualifying event of this race. So stay with us, let's get stuck right in. We are, like I said, we are on round 2 of this championship already, and it's already hotting up. It is so close. The times these guys are laying down is something unreal. Let's just have a quick cheeky look. Now, a 41.2 that Venture has done is just an unbelievable time. Al has done a 42.2. Now Alex has done also a 41.2. Garcia Golfi did a 41.5. But as they say in the classics, the bullshit stops when the flag drops. So let's get it on. Let's let these guys know we are qualifying now. Alright, so we are set for an epic adventure. I hope you all brought your your beers and your sunglasses, because this is going to get absolutely wild. Let's just try and get a almost had an accident in the pits there. So, not really sure who to look for. Who to look at. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be wild either way. So, already out on the track we have Alex Wilmot, who we know is just an absolute weapon in these cars. We also have let's see who's out in front. Alright, so pretty much everybody's going out at the moment. So the usual contenders: Golf Nut, we have Alex, we have Safalicious, the South African that's not a South African, we have Death Raccoon, we have Side Trance, beautiful looking livery. Oh, just love that M livery. Oof, that is gorgeous. We have Jedi Jonah, we have Mr. McFlurry has decided to return us with his West Bank livery. Mr. McFlurry, welcome back. We have Davide doing a beautiful drift, thank you, sir. We have Denz, he joined us just at the last minute. I'm not sure how much practice he's got in, but thank you for joining us. Ian B, ever faithful. I thought he wasn't going to join us, but I see he is with us, so that's great news. Let me just turn the camera. Slung is with us as well. Pittsburgh, what is that? Come on. Oh, that's annoying. Does that mean that we might have to start this again? Oh, I see. So Venture might have to start from the day. Oh God. Let me tell him to go out and in again. Not sure if he can. Oh, that is weird. That would be very unfortunate. Oh, Mr. Venture, the drama. The late drama, what is it doing? Alright, so Golfy is on a hot lap. And he's looking pretty good. That's it. With it, yeah. Oh, he's cut that corner. He's made a bit of a mistake. I see them. So Alex is on a good lap here. Golfy's made a mistake. Alex doesn't have any pressure. He's got the slip of Golfy. Will this be a quick time? I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. See Golfy backed out of that one. So, what is Alex going to do? He's going to put the first time down. 40.9. I don't know if I'm seeing correctly. 40.9. Oh, that's probably the slip from Golfy, but that is... I just don't know how these guys are doing that. Honestly, I don't know how they're doing this. These times are unbelievable. Okay, Venture's out. Fantastic. A 40.9 is unbelievable. To put that into perspective, I was testing here last night. No, okay, sure, I haven't been racing competitive for a while. With a lot of changes, the best I could do was like a 42.2 or something like that. With a 41.9 as a theoretical. These guys were doing 41.2s in their practice, and I see Alex just did a 40.9. I mean, if we just look at the times, 40.9, that means he must have got a massive slip somewhere, and I presume it's from Golfy. But yeah, that is unbelievable. We know Alex is just such a seasoned campaigner, and I see he's kind of pulled out just to calm the nerves, because when the flag drops, the bullshit stops. So who are we looking at now? McFlurry. We're looking at Safalicious. Let's have a look. What kind of time is Safalicious going to do for us now? He's also been coming up through the ranks, showing good pace. Still very, very young, but the young'uns seem to have really good pace. So he crosses the line, doesn't show us in time. Not sure why it didn't show us the time there. So let's just look at Safalicious. He went third, 42.7. That's a great time from him. His last lap was a 46. He obviously made a mistake. So apologies. Let's look. So Venture is still on his out lap. Safalicious third. Davide fourth, 42.8. McFlurry on a 43. So the pressure is mounting. Davide is looking really good as well. He's been super consistent and shows a lot of promise as a driver as well. I'll get a 42.8. That's it. It's a good time. Very good times. And the problem is with these cars, they, like I said, they're just so tricky to drive. You have to be aggressive, but you have to be smooth at the same time. So there's certain points where you have to be quite aggressive with the car, and there's times where you can't be aggressive and you have to just let the car do its thing. I see Jedi, apologies. So we're still looking at Safalicious. Let's go up. So there's Al, McFlurry, currently 7th, Jedi 8th, Death Raccoon 9th, Dan's 10th, Golfy, Sai 11th, Ian 12th, and good old Ed is going out. Slung 15th. So let's ride on board with Alex. As mentioned before, he is a season campaigner. I don't know if he'll get a quicker time than that 40.9. That could have been his theoretical, and that is just an unbelievable time. So you can see just how good he is, how good he is at stopping the car. Normally the car wants to really over-rotate on you there. 41.9 is good from Death Raccoon. Very good. See, he gets a full crank on the wheel there and gets on the power nice and smooth. I still can't believe it. 40.9. That's an unbelievable time. 41.9 from Brian. Brilliant time. 43.6 from Slug. Slug has gone quicker, I know, but that is not a bad time from him. He's been putting in a lot of effort. So yeah, let's just see what Alex can do here on his hot lap. This is extremely important. This first few sections, turn 1 and 2 to 2, is so important to get a good lap because there's so much time there. And here you have to be careful. Don't let the car the car wants to, as you down more steering, the car wants to almost go in a slide. You have to be very careful that it doesn't. Here you brake just after the 100 board. There we go. Down to third gear. Get it turned in, rotate it nicely. Don't run off here. You can put 2 wheels outside there, but you can't run off. Otherwise you get the penalty. So Alex has done a great job there. He's bringing it up here. I don't even know the turn numbers. Just after the 50 mark or just before. The gearing here, the stock gearbox is really difficult, but Alex manages. Oof, he runs it a bit wild. He might get a penalty, not sure. It's really good. The car is very, very good through there. Oh, Alex is really on the limit. This is an excellent, excellent lap. That is also such a tough corner to get the car stopped and turned without it sliding. Also a difficult corner as you grab 4th through here. When you come up to this corner now, this is generally down to second. I was using between second and third. I see he stayed in third. And it's important if you stay in third, you have to carry momentum, but it's difficult because you could go off the track, so it's always a tricky one, but third is the deal there. I generally like to keep it really tight here, but I see Alex is kind of doing a similar thing. He keeps it next to the wall to get the maximum lap time. What is he going to do? 40.7, my God. How is he doing this? How is he doing this? I mean, we rode on board with him. I mean, it was a superb lap, but I think we need to strip that car. I think we need to call the COC and get him to strip this car. That is simply an unbelievable time. Let's just look at the Alex is on 40.7. Ventures times are not registering. I don't know why. That is heartbreaking. It's so, yeah, really heartbreaking. I mean, a 40.7, my God. Phew, that is a talent, eh? That really, really is special. A 41.3 by Golfy is also exceptional. It blows my mind. It blows my mind how these guys are able to do these times. And, you know, Golf Nut, he's played golf all his life. He's never raced a race car. He's never operated at this level, and yeah, I mean, just it shows the level of talent, and the commitment these guys have really put into this. It's really, really special. McFlurry on a 41.9, Death Raccoon a 41.9, Brian a 41.9, Davide 42 dead. I mean, the times I was doing, I would be 7th. Cyan a 42.5. That's a good time. A 42.5 is a good time. Saphalicious 42.7. I mean, yes. L a 42.8. Yeah, it's very, very special. Very, very special these times. I see qualifying is finished, so let's just have a look. Okay, Venture's second. I didn't see what time it is, so let's just capture Alex's. Where's Alex's name here? We got. Put it on pole, yes, so he gets the point, right? We're jumping straight into the race. Mama! Are you ready for this? We've got Alex, Golf Nut, McFlurry. I don't know what's happened with Venture. Oh no, don't tell me he's in there. Oh, he's on the back. Oh, that is disastrous. Oh, that's terrible. So, Golfy and Alex going at it. Let's see what happens. Golfy, Alex and Death Raccoon going hammer and tongs here. see Golfy's got into the front with already with a 0.6 lead, the absolute legend. Now what he needs to do is just try and maintain that. He's got 6 laps. It's going to be six of the hardest laps of his life, because when you've got that man doing 40.7s breathing down your neck, there's not much that's going to stop him, unless Death Raccoon's able to get involved and try and trip him up a bit. Oh, it's such a pity that Venture's had issues, man. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. That is terrible, man. Terrible. But luckily there's a drop race to this event, so to the overall championship. So everybody's going to drop their worst event. So currently it is Golf Nut first, Alex Wilmot second, Death Raccoon third. Death Raccoon and Davide are having a nice little tussle there. Davide has already got 0.1, whatever you call it. Oh, Death Raccoon went off. So Davide is going to capitalize on that and move up. Death Raccoon is he able to maintain? I doubt it, because Davide will have the drive going up the hill. So Davide currently third. Brian Reed, we want to also capitalize on this. Is Brian going to be the last of the late breakers? We know he is. McFlurry really getting it crossed up on the brakes. They're trying to get up there, but Davide loses out. Death Raccoon's able to capitalize. Able to claw his way back. So currently Alex has made his way past Golf Nut, who is hunting him down again. Golf is not going to let this go. He is also a fighter. He's a racer's racer. He loves to get involved and loves to stick his nose in. He always asks a lot of questions. Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? And he's very, very courteous. He's a very good driver. So a lot of talent there, like I said before. So currently Alex Wilmot, Golfy, Death Raccoon third. Death Raccoon is getting bunched up. Davide is currently fourth. Look at this train of cars we've got coming through here. Fourth, Brian fifth. Safalicious sixth, just been passed by McFlurry. Dens eighth. Sign ninth. Al 10th. Ian 11th. 12th is Slung. Addis 13th. Jedi 14th. Back to Alex. Alex is starting to pull out the gap now. And if these guys let him get away, it's gone. He's just going to walk away with this. They have to be very careful not to do that, because, like I said before, he's just so good. And if you get out that slip, it's over. Because now these boys are fighting, and as soon as they start fighting and tripping each other up, it just gives Alex more breathing room, and the man is gone. I mean, when the guy is doing 40.7s, the boy's in another league. And it's just an unbelievable time. So Death Raccoon currently second. He is the man that can hunt down Alex. Let's just look here. How many laps do we have? Now, I know you are able to apologies, I know there are shortcuts on the keyboard. I haven't been able to get that working. Oh, Death Raccoon has a big slide. So he's going to lose out. Golfy's going to take that place. And let's see. So it's Golfy and then Davide also hanging in there. These cars are super hard to drive. It's super intense. But they absolutely magic things. Oh, Death Raccoon getting it locked up on the brakes. He made a mistake there. Oh, the man is battling. So currently, Brian is in third. Let's go back to our race leader here. We've got, apologies, we have Alex Wilmot, Golf Nut, Davide. This battle for third is just unreal. The boys are really swapping paint here. It's fantastic to watch. So Davide third, Brian Reed fourth. Now Brian's also, you don't want him in your mirrors. We've got Death Raccoon fifth, made just one too many mistakes under the pressure. McFlurry's worked his way up. He's also didn't get a great qualifying time, but he's currently sixth. Safalicious seventh. Safalicious coming leaps and bounds. Dens eighth. He hasn't had the greatest of starts. Al ninth. I'll put in a good time, but he's currently ninth. Side 10th. Ian 11th. Addis 12th. Slung 13, Jedi 14, back to the leader. Well, no one has an answer for Alex. I mean, he has already a 2.8 second gap. And it's just really, really unfortunate venture. There was an issue with the venture. Unfortunate venture wasn't able to take part. Very, very unfortunate. So let's go back to the accident. Yeah, so we have Golf Nut second. He is driving a superb race as well. To keep these animals behind him. Now behind Golfy, he has Mr. Reed now. Mr. Reed has 2 laps to go. Mr. Reed is now going to become the man you do not want in your mirrors. However, if anybody can soak up pressure and deal with issues, it is Mr. Golf Nut. He's very, very good. Behind Mr. Golf Nut we have, as I said, Brian Reed. Behind Brian Reed you've got Death Raccoon who's about to put a dive on Brian. Brian gives him space. It's very good driving from Brian. Clever boy. Golf Nut second. Brian's got the inside. Death Raccoon hanging around the outside. You're not going to make it happen there, brother. It's just too many marbles, but he's got the pace. It's getting squirmy and it's getting wild. I love it. These boys hanging it loose. Looks like Death Raccoon's got the inside line going through here. That is the better line. He will have the inside on Brian going into turn 1. So that is really where you want to be. You don't want to be, apologies, you do not want to be on the outside because the inside is pretty much where the grip is. But I see Brian was able to kind of just stick his nose in and maintain that position. That's great. Good driving by both these drivers, giving each other a lot of space and a lot of respect. Very, very nice to see. And that's what SSBB really breeds, is that respect and that extremely high level of driving. I mean, there's nothing really we can say about this man. He's just dominating. But Golfy also putting in an absolutely wonderful performance. And it's working into his favour. You know, the more these boys sit and play and scrap, and there's a magnificent scrap that's going on here for third. So the more these boys scrap, the more it gives Golfy the time to get away. So currently Davide third. What an excellent drive from Davide. And then you've got, Brian, the last of the late breakers, sent it up the inside, and mayhem. That was very naughty from Brian. It's not good to see. So currently we have Death Raccoon. Apologies, Death Raccoon in third, McFlurry fourth, Brian fifth, Cephalicious sixth, Davide seventh. It's terrible from Davide. So apologies, Davide. Not good to see. Death Raccoon getting it a bit loose there, and but he still managed to get the drive coming out that corner and going up onto the main straight here. So McFlurry currently has Golf Nut has a 3.6 second advantage, and all he needs to do for the last lap is make no mistakes and bring it home. So this man has made absolutely 0 mistakes. He's got the fastest lap and he's just driving this beautiful BM home. Currently in second, this man, Golf Nut, has also made no mistakes, driving a superb race. Third place, Death Raccoon, he's made a lot of mistakes, but he's fought his way through the field and managed to hold on to this third place. Is he going to be able to defend it from McFlurry? Because McFlurry, again, is also very, very quick driver, very good season campaigner. So, you've got Brian in fifth. So, McFlurry, let's keep an eye on this battle. McFlurry and Death Raccoon. McFlurry's going to want this position. Death Raccoon, very, very good. McFlurry looks like he's got the inside, but he needs to be careful. Gets a big slide on the brakes there. These cars don't like to trail brake too much. You have to be very careful because they're quite light and the balance is tricky. So McFlurry making a mistake there. Did that give Raccoon enough of a breathing a gap to just breathe and get through this complex without any issues? McFlurry's made a few mistakes and Brian has gotten through. So Brian able to get 4th place after all of that. So let's take a look at the leader as our friend Alex comes through. He is absolutely faultless, made 0 mistakes. This man has led pretty much from start to finish. Superb drive. Well done, Alex. absolutely stellar. Quickest lap on the last lap. Pulling Hamilton there. Golf Nut second. Death Raccoon third. Great drive from Death Raccoon. Brian fourth. Safalicious fifth. McFlurry sixth. So Davide seventh. Gens eighth. Aaron ninth. There will most definitely be an inquiry on that dive Brian put in. The COC will want to look at that. And 10 to 1, Brian will be placed behind Davide. So therefore, Brian was fourth. Safalicious will be bumped up to fourth. Apologies. Yeah, so there's your final results. But yeah, like I said, the COC will look at that. But nevertheless, amazing racing from all of these drivers. Alex did nothing wrong. He was able to do everything right and brought home the victory. Well done, sir. Excellent work, and thank you to all the drivers. We're going to take a short break as I capture these results. Stay with us. Alright, we are back. So, we just captured the results here. Alex got the fastest lap, and yeah, those are the kind of the points. So, what we need to do now is look at the overall points, and then that'll tell us how to set our grid. So, let's do that. Because this is category 2. Category 2 is reverse grid based on championship position. So, get the webcam so you can see me. I'm on. So, let's just jump onto the points camera. So, what we must do is forget about this number here. So, let's just look at points here. So what we'll do then is we sort it in reverse. So currently Brian's on pole. So Brian's on pole, Sai second, etc., etc. So let's jump back to the main camera. Let's set the grid. Apologies. Change grid order. So, like I said, we've got Brian Reed on pole. Now, Brian Reed is on pole because he didn't do the first race. He missed the first race, so he's currently last in the points. Second is Sai Tranced. So Sai will go up to second. Then we have Slung, and Chris is not with us, so it will be Slung and Adders. So Slung and Adders. Okay, then we will have McFlurry, Golf Nut, and Saffalicious. So McFlurry, Golf Nut, then we will have Ian, Al, and Jedi. Ian, Al, and Jedi. Then we will have Venture. Make sure he's there. Davide and Dings. Again, Dens. Where is Jedi? Jedi goes before the Death Raccoon and Alex. What's happening with Dens? Let's just go back, change grid order. Is it there? Dens will be after Davide. Where is Davide? Davide, I'm not sure. Where's Davide? Mr. David Day, can you please join the track so that we can add you to the grid order? There he is. Thank you, sir. So, David A will be behind Adventure 26. There we go. So, there's your grid. So, everyone can hear me? Mic check. Testing. Like a glove. So I think we'll give these boys another 3 minutes. And we jump boom into category 2. until start. Boom. So that category 1 race was interesting. It was very close. It was a nice pack. You know, the kind of the second, from second to fifth to sixth, was a very close race. It was good, but it wasn't as dirty. Well, not dirty, scrappy as I thought it would be. So it was really good racing. But yeah, like once Alex got away, that was it. So they really need to make sure that doesn't happen. Now this is reverse grid based on championship position. I think that will not happen. However, if we look at Mr. Death Raccoon, what he did last time is he was just able to get through the grid. I don't think he's going to do that now because he is sitting up at 15th. He's second last. Brian probably has the best chance of taking this. So what I didn't check, apologies, was the tyre wear. I need to check the tyre wear. What have I done? No tyre wear. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. That's right. And the reason I didn't want tyre was because I wanted it to be quite a clean, quick, fast, scrappy, beautiful race. These cars are stunning things to drive. Well, let's just sit with Alex here and listen and learn. It is such a precision weapon, this thing. And I mean, if you just listen, that gearbox is glorious. Manages to get it stopped and turned. Got a little slider over rotation there. Yeah, okay, yeah, his lap is gone, but these cars are precision instruments. They really are stunning to drive. So it kind of tells you the fact that he was able to get that 40.7 in that M3 is just unreal. So if you look at the times these boys are doing, 38.5. You know, so the 40.7 in that car is, it's just on another level. Golfy on a 38.5. The legend. Bench on 30, sorry, McFlurry 38.5 dead. Golfy 38.528. Venture 38.563. He's gonna want revenge, man. Boys, Venture, where is he gonna start? He's gonna start 12th. He is gonna want revenge. Alex 38.6. Jedi 38.7. Deathwicked 38.8. Brian 38.8. I mean, these times are unbelievable. Oh, just look at that. Listen to the sound of that thing. Whew. Gives you crummies in your tummies, brother. Anyway. Right. I'm about as excited as a dog wearing pants. So, let's get this show on the road. Starting now. Just told Dens you can thank me later. No tire wear. But you've got something coming up. She's very special in the category 3 race. I thought let me not wear these guys out too much because they got a very special something coming in that category 3 race. So let's get this show on the road. Boom shakalaka. We are diving straight into category 2 of the 2021 SSBB Season 2, Round 2. Let's get it on. have a sip of my coffee. So, what am I drinking? Stanley black coffee this time or not? Damn. Woo! Mamma mia. Wow, wee wah. So, let's go. Brian starting in pole. He is gonna have to put his head down, and he's got a very good chance of winning this if he just keeps it cool. So it's gonna be a sprint race, pretty much 6 laps in these weapons. Slung ran it wise. Sai is second. This car Sai is put together. It's just a glorious looking car. So is this car from Brian. Currently Sai is second. That is third. Beautiful color scheme. That is the McLaren. Oh, it's a nice big dice developing there. So Slung, ran it a bit wide on the brakes there. McFlurry capitalized on that, but Golfy said, thank you, sir, I will take that any day of the week. Keep it coming. So Golfy sitting in third, McFlurry fourth, Davide fifth, David Day, Venture 26 in seventh. Now this man is going to be hungry. Overcooks it. Very, very unfortunate. Sorry about that. Venture. See, sometimes when that pressure cooker starts to boil, you have to be so calm and collected. And I know he's been putting in the work to make this happen. It's just not one of those races, my friend. I'm sorry. Put it behind you. Learn. Move on. We've got Jedi up in 10th. Ian, these boys are scrapping in 10th and 11th. It's nuts. 11th, Venture down to 12th. He's having a terrible event. Alf up to 13th, Alex in 14th now. Alex and Venture are going to have a bit of a scrap. Den's up in 15th. So, excuse me, we've got Brian in first place. He's doing the business. Seems to be doing very, very well. Just able to put his head down and open a nice gap. He's got 1.9 second gap here to Sai. Sai in second, driving a great race. If this guy can just stay out of the trouble, he's got a real potential of finishing on the podium here. He needs to sit, concentrate, make no mistakes, and just do the business, mister. You've got a real potential here to do well. You can do it. So, currently, but he has Mr. Golfnut behind him, who has McFlurry behind him and David Day. So, that could potentially work in Sai's favour, because if these boys start scrapping, then they're going to trip each other up. David Day running a bit wide, their Golfnut keeping it very tight. Sai is closing the gap on Sai, so it's 0.8 to Sai right now. This is going to get a bit wild. McFlurry getting it a bit loose there. Oh, these cars are gorgeous, man. Oh, they're just so stunning. McFlurry getting a beautiful slide on there. Thank you, sir. Love this show. Keep it coming. David Day up in 5th. Look at this shot. It's just stunning. Sai coming through here. Beautiful colour scheme. Rolling a bit wide. So does Golfy. So does McFlurry. So currently we're looking at David Day. Death Raccoon. Addis up in 8th. Good show, Addis. He's got Saphalicious behind him. Jedi. Saphalicious. Jedi's currently in 8th. Jedi's probably going to have him on the brakes here. I'm not too sure. Yes, Jedi runs it deep on the brakes there. So, very interesting what's happening there. Jedi. Oh, man, what a mix. Woo! You don't want to be caught up in that train, man. And behind them, we've got Venture 26. So behind, Venture 26 managed to get past Alex. So we've got Addis and Alex. Alex is trying to find his way back through. He makes it through. It's a bit of a chaotic race, man. So we've got Saphalicious in 10th, Addis 11th now, Slung in 12th, Ian in 13th. I don't know how these guys are not driving into each other. They're doing such a good job. Slung in 13th, Den's 14th, Al 15th. Brian Reed, okay, making absolutely no mistakes here. Got a 4.5 second lead on Golfnut, who's managed to get past Sai, so I'm not sure. Sai's dropped to 5th now. So Golfy in 2nd. He has McFlurry behind him who's half a second behind him. Will he be able to hold with McFlurry? Golfer is again a season campaigner. Well, no, he's a new season campaigner, young blood, but he's doing so well. Death Raccoon making his move on Sai now, coming up. He's doing a great job. Sai in 6th, Jedi in 7th. Alex in 8th. How did Alex get to 8th? Venture in 10th. Venture must have made a mistake. I'm not sure what happened there. Alex in 8th. It must have gone off. Oh, Sai spinning it there through turn 2. Unfortunate. So, Alex, Venture, Ian, Benz. Beautiful shot. Ian. Benz, Safanicious. Then you've got Adams, Slung, Al, Sai. Unfortunately, he's last now. So, second to last. Tough race for him, man. Anyway, you've got Brian Reed out in the front. 4.6 second gap. No one's really going to come close to him. McFlurry has managed to pass Golf Nut to take second. So you've got McFlurry second, Golf Nut third, David out in fourth. He's still doing good times there. He's got Death Raccoon behind him. Death Raccoon's done really well in the championship, so he would want a really strong result. Jedi Jonah out in 6th, Alex Walnut in 7th. So Alex will be piling on the pressure to Jedi. Alex is going to want to try and get a good result from this race, considering he started from the back. So Jedi in 6th place. It is going to be a tough race for you, my friend. You've got that man breathing down your neck. Unfortunately, I see you let him on the inside, so Alex would have got the slip and gotten through. He's probably going to get him on the brakes. Looks like he's already passed it. So coming into turn 1, Alex ghosts a bit, but manages to get past Jedi. Venture 26, not far behind. He's about 1.2 seconds behind these two. So he needs to just try and salvage what he can. Put his head down and finish the race and get the points. 9th, you have Ian. Canberra Angus in this race is, or this circuit rather, is tough. It keeps changing to funny angles. So anyway, you've got Ian out in 10th, Safanicious 11th, Slung in 12th. Let's just see, where's Mr. Slung? There he is. Addis out in 13th, Al in 14th, Sai in 15th. Brian, the gap is now closed, 3.6 seconds. McFlurry, he's now opened up a 1.3 second gap on Golfy. Golfy has a 1.7 second gap on David Day. He currently has Mr. Death Raccoon moving behind him. So, what's going to happen in this situation? Will Mr. Death Raccoon be able to pass David Day? He's very close now. So, that is interesting. Apologies. So Death Raccoon gets past David Day on the brakes into turn 1. Turn 2, he keeps it nice and neat. David Day just giving him a little hazard there, saying, "Come on, brother. I know you got past me, but it ain't over till the fat lady sings." So Death Raccoon blocking. These two had quite a scrap. Denz has also been involved through the different seasons, but yeah, Death Raccoon made his move on David Day and managed to pass David Day. Alex up to 6th now. He's still in 6th, apologies. Let's just put. So we've got Alex in 6th. He's got about 1.2 second, 1.1 seconds to catch. He's not really going to catch him. So let's go back to our leader now. We have Brian leading first. The gap is closed to 2.6 seconds, but it's unlikely that anybody's going to catch this man. He's just done everything he needed to. pulled the gap, managed the gap, and didn't overthink it and didn't make any mistakes. So Mr. Brian Reed will take this for Genetsu Motorsport, bring it home, and win this race. He's done everything right. Like I said, he's made absolutely no mistakes. Brilliant drive, Mr. Brian Reed for Genetsu Motorsport. Second, we've got McFlurry, Twist. And third, we've got Golf Nut. Fourth, we've got Death Raccoon, just ahead of Davido, who finishes ahead of Alex Beaumont, who's ahead of Jedi in 7th. 8th, Venture 26. A good result for Venture. Dens, 9th. 10th is Adders. 11th, Slung. 12th, Al. 13th, Ian. Safalicious, 14th. And Simon, 15th in that beautifully coloured BMW M4. Just look at it. It's gorgeous. Well done to everybody. And well done to our race winner, Mr. Brian Reed for Genetsu Motorsport. And there is the to the victor, the spoils. Well done. BMW driving experience. Stick with us. We're going to just take a short break while I capture these results. Actually, let's just change the circuit quick for these boys and show them what they have in store for them. I've got something real special for these guys, and it is something that is basically has a stigma attached to turn 1. Hit the like button if you know what I'm talking about. Autodromo Internazionale a Monza. It's 25 laps. Racing grid will be set by host. Alrighty. Autodromo Internazionale a Monza. Alrighty, so let's jump over to the points camera here. So, what does that tell us? I've captured the points. Again, Cytron starting first. Brian Reed starting. Apologies. Cytron starting first. Brian Reed starting second. Chris is not with us, so it'll be Slung starting fourth. Others fifth, etc., etc. So, let's capture that. Yeah, I need everyone to kind of go to the track so I can change the grid order. Otherwise I can't get the guys onto the track. So, food break. Okay, some people are having a break. That's cool. So currently Jedi, looking at Jedi on M6. Let's be warming up his tires. Currently, Alex is still leading the championship. He's on, let's just look at the points count. Obviously, I've flipped this upside down now. I've sorted this in reverse order for the grid now. Just sort it the other way. Change this quickly. So, currently, yeah, it's Alex leading the championship. Death Raccoon second, David A third, Class B driver third. Well done, sir. Ben's fourth, Venture fifth. But everyone must still talk about Ben's, so that'll be interesting. So, Autodromo Internazionale è Monza. È Monza. Let's see what these boys can do around here. We've got 25 laps. It's going to be a long race. Drinking my coffee like it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Looks like it, so we are able to change, except for David Day. So we'll wait for David Day again, but it's okay, we can do the rest of the grid order. So let's get that done. So that'll be Cytrons first, then Brian Reed, then apologies. Then Slung, which is right. Then you'll have Adders, which is right. Then you'll have Saphalicious. Then you will have McFlurry, which is right. Then you will have Ian. Then you will have Al after Ian. Then you will have Golf Nut, which is right. Then you will have Jedi, which is right. Adventure, which is right. Then you will have Benz, which is right. David A's not joined yet. Then you'll have Death Raccoon, which is right. Then you'll have Alex, which is right. So once David Day joins, I shall be able to get him onto the starting. Flying quickest at 148. Still about that time. Let's watch, listen and learn. Also very, very beautiful sounding car. It's amazing how real this is. I mean, there you can see the PDM on the right hand side. He's getting a slip from others. That's going to help his lap time. He doesn't go quicker. Overcooked it on the brakes there. That is Mr. Gambino. How's it? It's a good sounding car as well. Alex in the pits, Adventure 26. Also made a mistake there. Sign the M3, Lone Ranger in the M3. All these guys will be pressing there. What's that there? Who that is? Death Raccoon. His livery is also looking very, very pretty. I really like his the layout of his cars. Side trials in the M3, as mentioned before. Venture, yes, Felicia's not sure what he's doing. David A in the M6 making a mistake through the S's there. First, second, M6 just looks so good. I think turn 1 in this race is going to be interesting. Jedi is finally on the track. No, it's David A. David A is on the circuit. So let's just go sort him out quick. Is good order. So David A needs to be behind Dens. There we go. Done. So how long are we going to give these guys? I reckon give them another... Are we looking at time? Just... Another 8 minutes. So let me take some time here to answer some of the comments. Need to up the mic volume a bit. Seriously. Thank you, Alex, on the podium. How's that? Is that better? Mic check, mic check. The last time we had overwhelming mic volume. So now it's a bit low, but anyway, I'm working on it. So let's thank you, Mr. Alex. So, Interstellar Dweller says Pitbug. Unfortunately, yes. Very sorry about that, my friend. Horror Shadow Steve. Such a sad moment. It is a sad moment. It's very sad. Alex, also well done, Alex. Alex had a magnificent race. It was very, very good. Isa R says very good race. Egg GGG. Don't know what that means, but okay, one click down. Thank you, Mr. on the podium, which is Alex. You don't have to call yourself on the podium because you're always on the podium. We know you're going to be on the podium all the time anyway, so. But I guess that's the old old thing. Man, that dude is fast. Interesting story. I used to work for his father when I was still studying, and his father was just as fast in his day, and so there's a lot of racing history and pedigree and heritage, and in that family. So it's no surprise that Alex is quicker. However, 10 to 1, I reckon Alex is probably quicker than his old man. But don't tell his old man that. Anyhow. How are we looking on time? No, I hear you, Mr. on the podium. Thanks, Alex. 2 minutes. Okay. I agree, brother. We both have to keep... It's just part of the game. You've got to keep up the brand awareness. Just also a side note, Alex is a sponsor to this channel and our efforts. He helps a lot with our media. He's an absolute legend. He's a very, very good designer, and we're very, very grateful for all the work that Alex puts in. So thank you very much. He designed the Genetsu Motorsport logo. He's done a lot of the deliveries on the cars, and yeah, it's great to have him on board. Genetsu Motorsport is also a sponsor, as you can see at the top. What they sponsor is to be revealed, and trust me, it is amazing. I'm not really sure when I'm going to reveal that, but that's coming soon. That's in connection basically with prizes for 2021. As I said before, we've got some magnificent prizes coming up. I mean, already in season 1 we had cash prizes, which is fantastic. Just to think about where we came from a year ago, we had a few people, and we've gone leaps and bounds. We've grown in leaps and bounds, and I'm just so happy and grateful for everybody's inputs. So yeah, I think we're pretty much there. 1 minute to go. Let me let everyone know. I think from the next event on, we might start doing driver interviews like we did in the prize giving. We'll set it up in Discord, kind of run it through Discord. I'm just having issues because I run off a MacBook. I'm having issues with the getting the Discord app to work. It's not apologies. It's not the Discord application is not working on my Mac. So I'm running it through the web browser. But if you do that, then there's another like add-on that you can't use to basically link the audio. So I'm sure there's ways to do it. I just need to figure that out. Anyhow, it is time. So let's get this show on the road. Let's let everybody know we are starting now. So has everyone joined? Let's just look here. Looks like everyone is joined pretty much. Alrighty. 25 laps. Holy smokes. Alrighty, so we have Cytrans up in first, Brian second, Slung third. Brian should get a good start to this race. Should be interesting. Let's have a look here. We just go straight to Brian. Oh, Slung got a magnificent start. Slung is in that Z4. Oh, look at that start from Slung. What a beautiful start, Slung, you absolute biscuit. So let's see how we get on through turn one. We've already got one casualty, Saphalicious. Ian B and Sile seem to be getting mixed up there. Death Raccoon currently in sixth. He's done a great job to get up to sixth place. Adder's in seventh in that beautiful yellow car. Then we have Golf Nut eighth, Al ninth, David A 10th, getting put under pressure by Dens. Will they give you the space? They do. Brilliant racing from these two. Alex in 12th, McFlurry 13th, Venture 14th, Jedi 15th. Still got Slung in first place. So how is this going to pan out? It's the two Genetsu Motorsport cars up in first and second, coming under pressure from Saphalicious. So Brian will play shotgun for Slung to try and let him just get a bit of breathing space before he gets put under pressure from Saphalicious. Slung doing a great job, just hanging in there. Now that Z4 is just really, really heavy on fuel, and as Brian starting to put pressure under his teammate, onto his teammate. Not sure. Brian's been coaching Slung a lot, trying to just get him to be a bit more consistent, try this, try that. Slung is also very new to all of this, so but he's been doing a great job. Look at these three, absolutely stunning. So Brian will move over and cover. Is he going to try out brake Slung? No, he throws caution to the wind, and yeah, but Slung is able to pull the gap, so Slung's got a bit of a gap now. Brian really loses out there. Gets passed by Deathcare Raccoon and Saphalicious. So, interesting swap there. So, let's just... Oh, what has happened there? Death Raccoon is kind of everywhere. I don't know if he was lagging or what happened there. But anyway, Brian back up to second place. So Slung in first, Brian in second, Death Raccoon third, Golfy fourth, Saphalicious fifth, Ian sixth, doing a great job. Looks very, very similar to those Genetsu Motorsport cars. Adder's up in ninth, McFlurry in 10th. Apologies. McFlurry in 8th. Everything's happening. Sign 9th. Dens in 10th. there's a bit of a scrap happening here. Sure. Look at these. 4 into 1 doesn't go. Let's see what will happen here. You've got Dens, David Day, and Venture 26. And Al all involved here. So, Venture 26 slowly working his way up through the ranks. So, David A 9 12th, Al 13th, Alex 14th. Alex is probably playing the long game, saving fuel. Jedi 15th. So, Brian is in first now. Getting put under pressure from Death Raccoon. With this beautiful little scrap. So Brian keeps the inside line. Oh, what happened to Death? Oh. Yeah, he's lagging quite badly there. So Death Raccoon, Brian and Death Raccoon still having a good scrap, but it looks like it's quite clean. So, yeah, sure, not sure what's going on here. Everyone's lagging a bit. I hope things don't drop off and we have internet issues. That'll be terrible. Oh, Death Raccoon gets the drive up Brian's inside and manages to pass him. Excellent freaking pass there. Brilliant work from Death Raccoon. So, fuel usage and tire wear isn't very high. So these guys don't have to play so much of the strategic game. They can kind of get on with the good dice. So Golfy up in third. Golfy's doing a great job, man. He's really having a good evening. He's had good results in all two races so far, and now he's currently sitting on purple sectors. And he's got the quickest lap. Absolute biscuit. Well done, Golfy. Slung's dropped down to fourth, unfortunately. He's got a 1 second penalty. He must just keep his head cool. He can do this. So if you look at the fuel consumption in the M6 versus the Z4, the Z4 is just a bit heavy on fuel. And the M6 is quick in a straight line. So Slung is really getting put under a lot of pressure here from everyone. All the M6s are kind of just piling on the pressure. That Z4 seems to just cut a nice big hole in the air. So yeah, Slung is Z4 with the M6 sandwich here. So will Safalicious send it up the inside? He does. Slung kind of tries to go and block off, but he doesn't. He's not able to. McFlurry tries to go around the outside. It's never really going to work. Yeah, Slung blocks him off and gets a better drive and is able to kind of make it stick. McFlurry, I'm not sure if he's lagging or what's going on there. McFlurry tries him around the outside. Slung ghost, and yeah, not sure what happened there. Okay, seems a bit funny, but okay. So Venture 26 up to 8th place already. Doing a great job, but it looks like he's using quite a bit of tyre to do that. So that'll be interesting how that whole thing will play out. Adder's up in 9th. Also used quite a bit of tyre already. David Day also used quite a bit of tyre. He's up in 11th, having a big dice with Alex. These two having a great dice there they are. And Dens is involved in that as well. Such a stunning sight, these three cars. These M6s. Gorgeous, gorgeous cars. All of these. So, Dens 12th, Jedi 13th, L 14th, Sai 15th. Death Raccoon has got a 1 point. He's just also done the fastest lap, 49.6, and got a 1.3 second gap on Brian. So Death Raccoon seems to be having a very good race here. We know that these cars can go quite far on their tires, so I guess the real question is the fuel. They need to do 2 mandatory pit stops for fuel and tires. Which 2 will it be? Another purple sector for Death Raccoon. He's just killing it, man. Maybe it's the lag. Oh, I'm not sure what's happening. Death Raccoon seems to be having terrible lag. It's obviously helping his lap times though, because the man is flying. Brian in second, Golf in third. Safalicious out in fourth. He's having a great race. He's really putting on a strong performance, this lad. Very, very young man. He's putting up a great performance, doing very, very well. He's in there, just needs to work on his consistency a bit more, but he's doing a great job. Ian up in fifth place, getting put under pressure from McFlurry Twist. McFlurry driving very close. Must have got quite close on in the braking zone. Also got it a bit squirrely as it got up the inside there, but Ian's holding the position. Ian has every right to hold that position and be there. McFlurry sending it around the outside, so that is a very, very good pass from McFlurry. He managed to send it around the outside of Ian and get the job done. So Ian Adventures 7th, Slung 8th, Alex 9th, David A 10th, Adders 11th, Dens 12th, Jedi 13th, Al 14th, Sai 15th. Death Raccoon kind of doing everything right again now. And he's on about three quarters of the tank. He's using quite a bit of tire. He's getting purple sectors everywhere, so this man is pushing. Brian Reed has used less fuel. He's used less fuel than Mr. Raccoon, is lagging everywhere. You can't tell if he's going off or he's flying. Anyhow, so yeah, so but Brian is not far behind. I mean, he's 2.4 seconds just behind. Behind him, he has the Screaming Golfie. So, if we look at the fuel consumption, Death Raccoon is used the most. We know he works on a very aggressive strategy. Brian is he's used quite a bit less. He's just gone under 3/4 of a tank, and Golfie's used a bit less than Brian. He's also just gone under 3/4 of a tank. So, Mr. McFlurry, he is very similar to Golfie. They kind of probably work on the same strategy, but yeah, both on very, very similar fuel levels. So it'll be interesting when they decide to pit. Probably might just chop this thing in three, and because the fuel consumption and the tire wear is not very high. So Safalicious up in fifth. He's also doing a great job, keeping his wits about him. McFlurry managed to pass him. He's a quicker driver, but as long as Safalicious just stays there and learns and sits there behind McFlurry and says, okay, it's fine, I know you're quicker, but let me sit behind you and see what I can learn and do what you do, and tomorrow I'll come and knock on your door. Mr. Ian B is up in 6th place, also doing a great job. 7 seconds between him and Alex Wilmot. So Alex is also, Ian seems to have used quite a bit less fuel than Alex. Alex also not on a bad fuel strategy. Venture looks like he's driving the wheels off of that car. It's also quite an aggressive strategy. Ooh, just clipped the wall as he went through there. Held David A up a bit, but David A couldn't really do anything. So Venture's pushing very, very hard. I'm not sure if he's trying to catch Alex or what he's trying to do, but he unfortunately had a terrible race one. So he missed it completely because of technical issues. So he's really going to want blood. So David A, we've got David A. Oh, unfortunately went wide there. I'm not sure what happened. He must have just got it wrong. Very, very sad. So, Slung up to 9th. Dens up to 10th. Tyre wear should start to become a factor now. That's probably why David A went off. David A up into 11th. He's got Jedi Jonah behind him. Up in 12th, Adders. Oh, Adders looks like he's battling with tyres. My goodness. Adders tyre wear is terrible. Oh, shame. L up in 14th. Sai, the Lone Ranger in the M3 in 15th. So the question is, when are these boys going to pit? When are they going to pit? They have 2 mandatory pit stops. I'm not sure what they're going to do. They might pit here because fuel usage isn't really an issue. So you're going to go long, pit, and then splash and dash at the end. Or you're going to try and undercut everyone and do the early pit. It'll be interesting. Brian doing a great job hanging on. He's not far behind. He's only 2.3 seconds behind Death Raccoon. So Brian is still in this thing. He's got a really good chance to win this. Death Raccoon's used a bit more fuel than Brian. The tyre wear is pretty much the same. So tyre wear is same with Brian, and fuel usage is pretty much the same with Brian. That's with Golfy. Golf Nut. So McFlurry and Golfy, exactly the same. Tyre wear is exactly the same. Safalicious used a bit more fuel than McFlurry, but he's hanging on. He's not far behind. So Mr. Ian B also hasn't used as much fuel as Safalicious. Safalicious seems to have been quite heavy on the car. Alex up in 7th. So Alex is behind Ian. He's 3.6 seconds behind Ian. Alex has used a bit more fuel than Ian, but really there's nothing in it. Ian's used a bit more tyre than Alex. It just kind of is an indication of the driving style. Yeah, and so Venture is about 1.6 seconds behind Alex. Venture's used a tad more fuel than Alex. I mean, we're talking like milliliters here. Venture is about 6, Dens is 6 seconds behind. Okay, so did McFlurry just pit? No. So, interesting, Alex is pitted. Yeah, a few guys are pitted. Alex is pitted. Venture is pitted. Alex bash and dash. Slung is on a splash and dash. David Day is pitting now. Beautiful rims. Oh, gorgeous rims. Now, it has to register 1 click at least on the gauge to justify the fuel rule. What that means is that number next to the fuel, the little fuel tank as the guys go in, it has to change at least one unit to be able to justify the rule change. If you go in and you do a splash and dash, but that number next to the fuel, the little fuel filler, doesn't change, it does not justify the rule. and therefore you'll get a 5-minute penalty. And that is there to have a unit of measure to effectively our leaders to effectively justify the rule, to make sure the guys do put fuel. So our leader's just stopped in. He's got 44 liters of fuel left. Let's see what he does. And McFlurry has stopped. So they changed the tires on Death Raccoon's car. They put fuel. It's long enough, you can see. So he might go long. Goes out with 71 liters of fuel. So Safalush is currently in the pits. He is on 43 liters. He's putting quite a bit in. Alrighty, Addis is coming in. So our leader at the moment is Brian Reed. And he's got Death Raccoon breathing down his neck. That's interesting. So Brian has pitted. He did a splash and dash, but he was able to get out quicker than our friend Mr. Death Raccoon. So this is going to be a race between Brian and Death Raccoon. They've both done a great job. Death Raccoon really aggressive on the brakes there. Sure. Golfy also in this, man. He has got no sock. He's playing for keeps. Both these boys are playing for keeps. They're both racing like it's a sprint race. So currently Brian is in first. Got about a 0.7 gap on Death Raccoon, but Death Raccoon has more fuel. Fuel I don't think will be an issue. We've done 11 laps. They've done a bit of a splash and dash. How's your father? It's not really an issue. So yeah, so Brian first, Death Raccoon second, Golf Nut third. I mean, Golf Nut's closed that gap right up now. Oh, Death Raccoon runs it wide now. I don't know if that's because he's lagging or what the story is. Anyhow, Golfy in third in Agent Orange. McFlurry currently in fourth. He's about 6 seconds behind those boys, so he's just stopped. He's used a lot less tire than Golfy. Then you've got Alex, Ian and Safalicious, about 6 seconds behind McFlurry. So Ian's having a big look up the inside there. Again, playing for keeps. These guys are having a sprint race here. 11 laps in, and yeah, not even halfway. Halfway through this lap, it'll be halfway through the race. So interesting. Ian is Safalicious goes for a big dive on Ian. He makes it stick. Sure, that was very aggressive. Well done, Safalicious. Aggression is not a problem if sure, what is Sai doing there? I wonder if he's run out of fuel. Sure. Okay, we'll catch up with Sai now. Aggression's not an issue as long as you can make the pass stick, and there are no issues basically. So got Alex Wilmot, who is still ahead of this trio. Safalicious doing a great job to hang on with Alex. Ian out in 7th. Looks like he's also pitted. Den's out in 8th. Coyote Venture has just got a purple sector. He's out in 9th. Doing a great job. Slung out in 10th. Fantastic work by Slung, the fastest Z4. David Day 11th. 12th is Al. Adders 13th. Jedi 14th. Sai 15th. Okay, Sai went off. Apologies, Sai went off. He didn't run out of fuel. But he's going long on his tyres. It'll be interesting to see what he does. The livery Sai is putting out are just gorgeous. The BMW M livery. Really stunning. Okay, back to our leader, Mr. Brian Reed. Doing a good job holding off Mr. Death Raccoon, who's quite aggressive on his strategy. However, fuel doesn't really play that big a role in this race. So you're gonna splash and dash. That's the name of the game. Obviously, depending on how long you can go on the tank. So Brian Reed getting a purple sector there, doing a good job to stay ahead of Mr. Death Raccoon. Death Raccoon. Let's look at the tyre wear and fuel. Okay, Death Raccoon has a bit more fuel, but in terms of the tyres, there's nothing in it. Copy paste. Golf Nut. Golf Nut has used quite a bit more tyre. Now, I don't know if he did the undercut and pitted early. There's a very good chance he did that. Can't really remember. So there's a gap of about 5.6 seconds between him and Golfy and McFlurry. We're 13 laps in. Alrighty, so we're back with Alex. Currently fifth. Size left the room. I don't know what's happening there. He might have had some issues. Safalisha sixth. Ian seventh. Dens eighth. Venture running a bit low on fuel. He must have gone really long in the fuel. Ninth. David A 10th. Slung 11th. Having a bit of a dice here with Al. Let's see what happens here in turn 1. Al seems to have gotten ahead. Must have just got ahead on the slip. So Al takes 11th place for the moment. Jedi out in 13th. Adders in 14th. And we're back to our leader. Beautiful watching these cars go through here. It just looks so easy, but when you're running this pace, there's nothing but, well, it's very, very far from easy. Especially when you've got someone hunting you down or lining you up, watching your strategy, you know, thinking about trying to figure out when they're going to do the undercut or are they going to do the overcut. So these guys don't put together. We're on lap 14 now, going to lap 15. Okay, the gap now 0.9 between Brian and Death Raccoon. As they come into turn 1. Around Death Raccoon getting a bit squirrely. So Golf Nut through turn 1. Golf Nut's currently third. McFlurry, the gap between McFlurry and Golf Nut is 5 seconds. It seems to have opened a bit. Gap between Death Raccoon and Golf Nut is 4.3 seconds. Gap between Brian and Death Raccoon has gone from 0.9 to 0.4. Brian makes a bit of a mistake. Death Raccoon gets a drive up the inside. That's the second time he's done that today. It's a brilliant move. He's just got so much pace through there. So I wonder if Brian's just battling a bit with tyre wear. Oh, Brian gets a good run up the inside on Death Raccoon. Says, thank you very much for that, mister. You can play that game and I'll put my car here. Let's see what you can do now. So Brian's got the inside line coming up here to the second set of S's. Who's going to give way? Brian's got the inside. Death Raccoon's going to have to back off and give way as they go through there. Death Raccoon's really lagging. I wonder if that's playing an issue between these two drivers. But Death Raccoon gets a better drive out there, out of those corners. So gets the slip, but coming. Oh, yes, man. Death Raccoon is lagging so much. I'm not sure what's happening with his internet, but and I'm not sure if Brian can see that as well. Like, or seeing what I'm seeing. But anyway, they side by side as they go down the main straight. They're coming up to turn 1. These guys are playing for keeps. So Death Raccoon, tries to go up the inside, just can't do it. decides that caution's a better part of valor, backs out of it there. So Brian's still in first place. These two having a magnificent dice here for first. Brian in first on just over quarter tank. Death Raccoon 7th, just under half a tank. Nothing in it between these two. I mean, it's like 0.2, 0.3. That's the gap. Now it's 0.1. Is he going to do the same? He does the same thing. Brian gives him space. Oh, this must be so difficult when the guy's lagging that much, man. So, Death Raccoon does the same thing. Brian gives him space, says, okay, two can play this game. I'll sit here behind you, get the slip, copy paste. We'll do it all again tomorrow. So Brian, looks like Brian got the slip. No, he thought, okay, caution. Let's just sit here. Oh, Brian gets a big tank slapper through there. Unfortunately, gets it very loose and loses it, and Golfy even passes him. Very unfortunate that happened. So he's got a lot of work to do, and he's got Mr. McFlurry bearing down his neck now. 2.2 seconds, 2 seconds behind him. So Mr. Reed from Junetsu Motorsports got a lot of work to do now. Very unfortunately, got that big tank slapper. So Death Raccoon, currently your leader. Safalicious on the fastest lap, 48.4. Sterling job, young man. Death Raccoon first, Golf Nut second, also doing an amazing job. Brian Reed third, McFlurry gap down to 1.6 now in fourth. Alex Wilmot in 6th, gap now 5.9 seconds. Alex is slowly hunting these guys down. Also on a quarter tank. Safalicious, he is on just over half a tank, and it's a big dice between him and Ian. Ian on a quarter tank. Den's in 8th on a quarter tank. Al in 9th on half a tank. Excuse me, Jedi in 10th, half a tank. Slung in 11th on a quarter tank. Adders in 12th on just under half a tank. David A 13th on half a tank. Looks like he's stopped again. Adventure is just coming out of the pit, so he's on half a tank. He'll go to the end on this fuel. He's got brand new tyres, so he'll probably go to the end now. So it looks like these guys are going to stop a bit later. They are playing the long game. Mr. Reed is going to have to stop soonish, but he's got Mr. McFlurry bearing down. So it would probably be wise to do the undercut and stop now. Although, having said that, I'm probably the world's worst strategist. So, nobody listen to me. But yeah, I mean, if McFlurry's on a better tire, I see Golfy's gone in. Golfy's gone in. Okay, so McFlurry and Mr. Reed are going to stay out. Golfy's gone in. He's decided to go in and put fuel. He's got Continental tires on. We don't run Contis, we run Bridgestones. McFlurry, please come. Golfy, please come to CSC's office. Just kidding. Alrighty. So, how are we looking up front? So we got Death Raccoon, 7-second gap on Brian. Brian's got a 1.2 second gap on McFlurry. What they're going to do, how they're going to put, not sure. Don't think fuel will be an issue. It'll be a splash and dash. Well, they'll have to see, how much they got to kind of make it to the end. Between the two, there's nothing in it in fuel and tire. Alex is also there. He's kind of got a 6-second gap to McFlurry. Alex is running low on fuel, so he's going to have to put a little bit more in than the others. Safalicious, he's on half a tank, but he's used up a lot of tire. Golfy's just stopped, so Golfy can go to the end, but there's a massive gap between him and the leaders. So Ian is out in 7th. He looks like he's just stopped, so he can also go to the end. Dens is just stopped. He'll go to the end. Jedi needs to stop. Currently got a purple sector. What a legend. Apologies. Al in 10th, Slung in 11th, Davide in 12th. It's also stopped. Venture's stopped. He's got a 13. He's in 13th. That is a stop. So here comes your leaders. They've just come into the pits. So I was going to say Mr. Reed also needs to come into the pit. So Death Raccoon, 25 litres. It'll be interesting to see. Alex is staying out. Alex is playing the long game. So let's see how much fuel he puts in. Okay, Death Raccoon, you couldn't see. Okay, so Mr. Reed came in on 16 litres. So McFlurry's undercut him. Yeah, I thought so. Mr. Reed had used quite a bit more fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. It's about a 3-second gap to McFlurry. So Golfy's done the undercut on everyone. Except Death Raccoon. So Alex still needs to stop. He's running low on fuel. So he's going to have to stop now. He's running low on tyre and fuel. He's got about a 5-second gap to Death Raccoon. Death Raccoon's got good fuel and good tyres. Not a problem to Safalicious. Safalicious is going to have to stop. Those tyres just won't last. He won't have the pace. So he'll have to splash and dash pretty much. So effectively Golfy's going to be up in second after this lap, or very, very soon. So it's Golfy and then McFlurry. McFlurry's got a 0.8 penalty. It's about a 4.7 second gap to Brian. I'm not sure if that was a bigger gap, but anyhow. So Ian in 7th. Ian's got fresh tyres. Den's in 8th, also fresh tyres. Jedi in 9th. Jedi's used his tyres, so I'm not sure if he needs to stop again. Davide in 10th. His tyres are fresh enough. Looks like he'll be able to go to the end. Venture out in 11th. He should be able to, he's stopped, so he'll go to the end. Al in 12th. Slung in 13th. Addis 14th. So Alex is now coming into the pit. So Death Raccoon already. Apologies. What is going on? Apologies. Death Raccoon out in first. Golfy in second. So Alex and Safalicious both pitted. They've both got enough fuel to satisfy the rule change. So it's Death Raccoon with a 5.8 second gap to Golfy, who has a 2.1 second gap to McFlurry, who has a 5-second gap to Brian. Does Brian have enough time to hunt down McFlurry and put enough pressure to try and play for the podium? Let's see. The interesting thing is that Alex is also not far behind. Alex has got about a 6.2 second gap to Brian, and then there's a 2.5 second gap to Safalicious. So this is getting very interesting. Death Raccoon just doing everything right again. He is seems to be the master of these enduros, and could take him a long way in the championship. Because if we look at the championship at the moment, Death Raccoon's currently sitting second. So Alex is sitting 5th. Death Raccoon, this will do his championship wonders. If he wins this, it'll really, really help his efforts. So he's doing everything right. Golfy up in second. Golfy is sitting 7th in the championship. This will also help him, because this race is double points. McFlurry up in 3rd. McFlurry, the gap between McFlurry and Golfy is 2.4 seconds. It seems to be very consistent. The gap between Brian and McFlurry is 5.1 seconds. Gap between Alex and Brian is 5.5 seconds. So that gap seems to be closing. Alex seems to be turning up the heat there. So Alex has still got a very, very good tyre. He can Not sure. Yeah, he might be able to go to the end on 100% power. I'm sure all these guys are going to go to the end on 100% power. So, gap between Brian and McFlurry, 5.3 seconds. Gap between McFlurry and Golfy, 1.2 seconds. Golfy has to put his head down, and if Uncle McFlurry gets into Uncle Golfy's slip, he's going to catch him quite quickly. So, it's not a place you'd want to be. McFlurry just put in a faster sector, purple sector. So McFlurry's pushing. He wants that second place. He wants those points. McFlurry is sitting 9th in the championship, so this will really help his effort. So okay, McFlurry's down to 1 second, so he will be in the slip now. Golfy's really got to try not make any mistakes, and then if McFlurry gets close enough, he has to make that car as wide as possible. Gap now down to 0.93. McFlurry, fastest lap of the race, 1:47.8. So he's really turning up the heat now. Gap now down to 0.9. Golfy, oh, I think he ran a bit deep there, but he's pulled it. Yeah, Golfy ran it deep on the brake, so McFlurry's just going to chew him up now down this straight. Gap down to 0.86, so McFlurry's should be able to get into his slip and then just really close up. So really sucks to be Golfy. The difference is nothing in between the tires. So gap now down to 0.4, so McFlurry's using the most of that slip now. McFlurry's a master at this. He's just waits for the right time, sits there, bides his time, and when it's time to strike, he knows exactly when to do it and how to do it. He just needs to be clean now. He will, obviously the gap is nothing now, so he's just got to make sure that he gets the right placement of the car and doesn't cause an incident. McFlurry got another purple sector there, so he'll have a really good slip here. Surprised Golfy didn't make his life a bit harder. So McFlurry, there we go, gets the job done. He's up to second place. Gap to, side by side through there. Very good racing from these two. A lot of respect. And that's also, again, a highlight. That's what SSBB is really all about. It's about the respect between drivers, giving each other space, and respecting the rules on how to pass, the B pillar rule. Effectively what that means is that your bumper needs to be past the B pillar when you turn into the corner on the inside there, so that the driver can see you. So McFlurry basically gets the job done very nicely and is able to pass Golfy. So Golfy down to third now. Brian, the gap between Brian and Golfy, 5.6, seems to be very consistent. Gap between Alex and Brian, 4.8. So Alex is also turning up the heat. He's got about 2 laps to go. I'm not sure if he'll be able to catch Brian in the 2 laps. The gap between Safalicious and Alex is 12 seconds. Safalicious is doing really well. He's driven a great race, very consistent. It's great to see him up there. He's currently 6th. Denza up in 7th. Also, very, very good race from this lad. He's staying consistent and just having a really good race. Ian up in 8th. Also, a really good result from Ian. That mid-pack is not a nice place to be. Just because it gets very scrappy and very busy. David A up in 9th, Venture 26 up in 10th, and we saw how quick Venture was in practice, man. He was just mental. He's having a race event to forget, but it's okay. These things happen, and when you have an event like this, you just have to salvage what you can and move on. Jeddah up in 11th now. Al up in 12th, Slung up in 13th, Adders in 14th, and we come back to your race leaders. So the gap between Death Raccoon and McFlurry is 8.6 seconds. McFlurry still on the fastest lap of the race. Look at those times. If you look at Death Raccoon's times, 48.8, 48.5, 48.3, 48.8, 48.8, and then he obviously made a mistake there, 2 minutes 8 seconds, or that was a pit, sorry, and then 48.8, 49. I mean, it's just unbelievable. McFlurry, Golfy's not letting McFlurry go. Good man. Put him under that pressure, Golfy. Send it, brother. Send it. Oh, McFlurry also running it a bit wide there. So Golfy not out of this yet. He's decided, no, boy. I am going to sit here with you and make your life about as difficult as I can. So he gets the slip on McFlurry. Puts it up the inside. Good job. McFlurry turns in. I'm not sure. Look, he ghosted there, but I'm not sure if he saw Golfy. I think if he didn't ghost, there would have been contact there. So that was a runner. That's what it looked like from the camera angle. I can't seem to change this camera angle, but yeah, that looked like it was a bit close. Anyhow, gap now between Golfy and McFlurry, 1.2 seconds. Brian is 3.4 seconds behind these two. We're going on to the last lap. So Death Raccoon, I don't know what happened there. He's lagging all over the place, but it looked like he kind of got it wrong. He obviously didn't. McFlurry through turn 1 and turn 2. No issues there. Golfy through turn 1 and turn 2. No issues there. McFlurry's on reserve fuel on the last lap. My goodness. This is going to get steamy. So, Golfy needs to focus, put his head down. Golfy has more fuel. So Golfy can do this. McFlurry getting a big slide there. Golfy needs to just close that gap. Gap now down to 2 seconds. Golfy fuel saving. Golfy's fuel saving. So, Brian has the best chance here. Brian can close the gap on Golfy and possibly McFlurry, I'm not sure. Gap down to 2 seconds. Brian has more fuel than both of them. So, McFlurry should be fuel saving here. Is Golfy going to catch him? The question is, Brian going to catch him? Down to 2.3 seconds, I'm not sure. You know, Golfy is fuel saving, but he might have enough to get through. So, Alex also fuel saving. And Zafalicious. Oh my word. And Denz. Denz is really running low. So, gap now 2.2 seconds. So, let's look at your leader here. Coming over the line. Wins the race. Excellent job, Death Raccoon. Coming through in second is Mr. McFlurry. He's done a great job coming through in second place. Done everything right. Golfy coming home in third. Brian Reed coming home in fourth. Excellent job. Alex coming through to finish the race in fifth place. Safalicious coming through on what is probably the smell of an oil rag to bring the car home in sixth place. Denz in seventh, also probably ran out of fuel over the line. Ian in eighth, great job. David Day coming through, also probably about to run out of fuel. The smell of an oil rag, out in ninth. KRT Venture in 10th. Al coming through the last corner now. And this beautiful M6 GT3. He's going to bring the car home in 11th place. Beautiful livery as well. Stunning livery. One of our newer drivers comes home, brings the car home in 11th. Gerard Jonah finishes 12th. Adders coming home in 13th. Coming down the back straight. Slung, I don't know why showing that he's finished, but Adders coming through the last corner there. This beautifully coloured yellow coloured car. I used to drive a yellow Polo. I know what it's like. It is wonderful. That is for coming home in 13th. So excellent job. Well done to all the all the drivers, Death Raccoon, and yet another sterling performance from this man. It seems that nothing can stop him in the Enduros. He's just in a league of his own, and to the victor the spoils. Well done, sir. Excellent work. So that pretty much wraps it up for us. Thank you everyone for joining us. It was an exceptional evening. Some more amazing racing, and yeah, from here, where do we go? Let's see. So next weekend. Well done, everybody. Let's look at the points calendar quickly. The points cam quickly. So next race will be Autopolis. Okay, that's on the 7th of May. And then after that, we got Red Bull Ring, the main circuit. After that, we got Nürburgring GP. Then we have Goodwood Motor Circuit. Then Circuit de Catalunya. Then we have Red Bull Ring, the short circuit. Then Spa, and then Brands Hatch for the finale on the 25th of June. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same place. Peace.